have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia,
Cleo B. Love, a native of Kansas, was a member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church all of her life. At the age of 10, she was secretary of the Sunday school at St. James AME Church in Wellington, Kansas. When she was 16 years old, she served as superintendent of the Sunday school. She was elected delegate to the Sunday School Convention at the age of 12. She joined the Senior Missionary Society when she was 18 years old and remained an active member for over 75 years. Her one desire was to go to Africa and serve as a missionary.
When you looked at those ladies, like Mother Love and Mother Edith Bryant and Mary Fazell, and it just made you want to be a part of the Missionary Society. It was just something about how they carried themselves and the way they got it, how they conducted the meetings and everything. Like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that.
She was always very open and jovial and accommodating. And so, I'm talking to several other people, and they mentioned that she was involved with the Big Sister projects, where older missionaries are working with the younger women, kind of as mentor to help to bring them into the Missionary Society. Just a person with a beautiful spirit.
I remember being in the meeting, and she always sat with me in the meeting. Of course, I was assisting the supervisor, and I was standing up talking. And when I finished and turned it over, introduced the supervisor, and I sat down, I was a little bit warm, being a younger woman then. And I was perspiring, so I was trying to get cooled down. And she said, now, as soon as you get through cooling down, you get right back up there with the supervisor. And I said, all right. So she was always giving me directions. And I thought that was really sort of a comical one. She didn't want me to sit down. You support that supervisor. She believed in supporting her leadership.
Miss Love was a no-nonsense WMS worker. And I remember when she was inducted into the an African ceremony where we really started calling her Mother Love. And evidently that ceremony was something, from an African situation. And they, when they induct you into that ceremony, then they give you the title of mother. And so she always, from thereafter, especially, was called Mother Love. And she would insist, I don't care your age, your male, female, or whatever, she would insist that we call her Mother Love. And those are just some fond memories of Mother Love to me. And I will forever remember her.
She was the wife of Reverend C. Wayne Love, itinerant minister and her lifetime friend, schoolmate, and sweetheart, who became an itinerant elder in 1933 in Winslow, Flagstaff, Arizona. Reverend Love was appointed pastor of St. John AME Church in Topeka, Kansas in 1941. Their blessed union in marriage was made even sweeter by their birth of their son, Edward James, their only child. From the Pacific Northwest Conference, Mrs. Love was one of our 5th Episcopal District Women's Missionary Society presidents. She was a kind, gentle spirit who served with distinction. As a clergy spouse, she was very knowledgeable of the AME Church and had a passion for the ministry of missions. She was very involved in the missionary endeavor and encouraged, inspired women, particularly young women, to join, participate, and serve in the missionary society of their local churches. She promoted, supported, and conducted missionary training and enrichment activities. She was an avid mentor. Her time, effort, and love for the spirit of missions was very apparent in her leadership and has been appropriately recognized, appreciated, and memorialized in the establishment of the Cleo B. Love Hall of Recognition. This high honor of recognition and tribute is given to local and 5th Episcopal District missionaries who have exemplified exceptional and meritorious service in their societies. We are grateful and blessed to have had Mrs. Cleo B. Love as one of our WMS leadership persons, Mrs. Dorothy Johnson.
It is indeed my pleasure to share fond memories of Mother Cleo Ballard Love. Perhaps my fondest memories of working together with Mother Love was shortly after the year in which the late Bishop Vincent Randolph and Supervisor Vivian Anderson named a special recognition in honor of Mother Love's exemplary and meritorious service as a missionary, a Cleo B. Love Hall of Recognition, which was to give recognition to missionaries who were not life members, but who, like Mother Love, had devoted themselves to at least 25 years of exemplary service in the organized Women's Missionary Society. I thank and praise God for the life and memory of Mother Cleo Ballard Love. I am grateful and will always be grateful to Mother Love for seeing in me what I did not yet see in myself. My first experience with Mother Love was in the late 70s and early 80s, as I was a young missionary and having to start a missionary society at the newly founded Brookings Community AME Church. So I needed a lot of advice and a lot of help from a lot of people in order to get our missionary society started. So that is when I first met her, a beautiful, stately woman who was very proud to be called to be a missionary and a worker for Christ.
The most vivid memory of her was our trip to Jamaica with Bishop and Mrs. Anderson. That was my first travel outside the United States. We were very excited with the people, the weather, and all of the AMEs who traveled from the 5th District to Jamaica.
Through the years, she served in the Women's Missionary Society. Mrs. Vivian Anderson appointed Cleo B. Love President Emeritus of the 5th Episcopal District.
I saw the need for women who had worked hard, who never would have a life membership because there were not enough to go around, and who deserved it, even sometimes more than those who had the neck of getting it. And so this was the reason that I started the Cleo B. Love Hall of Fame, because it gave women a chance to be recognized that they had attained something through service.
Her childhood dream was answered in March 1958 when she went to Africa to attend the Diamond Jubilee celebration in the 15th Episcopal District with 9 other guest delegates. This year, we congratulate our new Cleo B. Love Hall of Recognition inductees.
Into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.